and gentlemen, we're here week number 2 at Ohsweken Speedway. As you can see behind me, nice, beautiful, prepared dirt track, 3/8 mile dirt track to be exact. Here at Ohsweken Speedway, tonight is Duel in the Dirt points night number 2. Of course, this is our regular track anyway, so we're going to be here regardless. But for our Duel in the Dirt points, this is important to be here. So, right now, I believe we're sitting 16th in the points right now for Duel in the Dirt. We had some bad luck, of course, last week, and that hurt us. But this week, we think we got our issues solved finally. After working every day on the car, I think we got it all figured out. So we're going to skip ahead to hot laps. We're going to do hot laps. We got some tuning we want to keep an eye on all through the night. We're going to do hot laps, and then our qualifiers. Of course, it's going to be very hard as there's going to most likely be 20 cars. And of course, taking top 10 again like last week. So last week's video was a little, last week's video was a little rushed to begin with, even if I was to put it all together, only because, well, we were having a very hard time with the car itself and trying to make sure that we can get it on track. So now that we are able to basically roll it off the trailer knowing that it runs, we can relax at least until we start hot laps. But once we start hot laps, the grind's going to start and we're going to get going. So keep you guys posted. And hey guys, one more look at this fine, beautiful racetrack. Just one more look. Ohsweken Speedway, nice 3/8, fast-paced dirt oval. They did an amazing job with this as usual, guys. Here we go.
Starting 11th is Aiden Maynard from Chatham in the 28.
Green flag is out on this night of racing here at the Big O. Souls leading the way, but here goes Newell up on the high side. That white number 2, brand new left side skin on the 2 machine. Peeled that thing back like a can opener last week.
Got Nick Erskine right behind him in the 64. Nick trying to have a bounce-back season after the rough go last year. And that big rollover we talked about last week. Meanwhile, 3-4 wide through the middle of the pack. Fabio Oliveri, who started kind of back there in the middle of the pack, he's still in the eye of the storm.
Rogan Monahan doing a nice job in that 04 machine. He works into the 5th spot. A little bit of ground to make up to the top 4. In fact, the top 2 have pulled away. Matt Newell and Nick Erskine with about 10 car lengths back to Ken Hare and Jason Tolton.
8 laps of distance for these qualifiers. 2 in total for the mini stocks. Same for the Thunders. They run a pair of qualifiers. That 4 wide action. Luback there to the inside now of Oliveri in the 16. Aiden Maynard there and that beautiful number 20 as well.
We've got some great looking race cars here this year. Further back in the field, Matt Young and that number 7, they sustained some pretty heavy damage last week. Great to see them back out to the racetrack. So we're halfway through, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. The lead duo continue to put some daylight between themselves and 3rd place Ken Hare.
Again, top 10 will transfer into the main event tonight, and then we'll take another 8 through the B main a little bit later on. Top 2 have broken away. Ken Hare is riding there comfortably in the 3rd spot. Right behind the top 5 is that battle we've been watching with Fabio Oliveri on the outside line. And down to the inside, the 14L of John Lubeck.
As we work back through that pack just behind these cars, Dusty DeBoer hangs on to the 10th and final transfer spot in the 23. He's got Sean Taylor in the 76 closing in, and Christopher French lurking a little further back in the 54.
Man on the move right now is last week's winner. Alex Riley is trying to inch his way towards the top 5. He'll work to the outside of Lubeck as we watch right now the battle for the lead. Nick Erskine to the outside of Matt Newell.
What flag going to fly this time? One more lap to go in this first qualifier for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
Final time around, Erskine edges ahead as they go off of corner number 2. Newell not going away in the bottom. They'll go door to door into corner number 3. Final time through, white flag for the final car across the line. Checkers now out and at the line. It's going to be Nick Erskine. Matt Newell second, Ken Hare third, fourth will be Tolton, fifth Riley, sixth Monahan, seventh was Oliveri, then it was Lubeck, Maynard, and it was Dusty DeBoer cashing in the final transfer.
Okay guys, so apologies for not be recording at the track, but of course, because we work early mornings, Friday mornings, like we start at 2 in the morning at work, and then we get done at 10 in the morning, but then we're like, go, trying to get maintenance, some maintenance stuff in the car, and then just, you know, we have our own personal stuff, of course, we're trying to get done, that came up. By the time we got home, we were up for 24 hours, so we were absolutely exhausted, so I didn't get a chance to record anything, and my dad wanted to take the rig back as soon as we were done. He left. We loaded the car. He wanted to go home because he had to work Saturday morning. So yeah, we had to leave. So I stayed around for a little bit, but I didn't stay for long, and I drove back. I got back around 1 o'clock in the morning. So anyways, that's why I'm not recording at the track. We needed to leave because it was just that time. But so we are a little bit upset with how last night went. Of course, the car was really promising because we finally had a car that had speed, and we have a setup. And I don't want to brag, but I mean I think I drove it the best I have ever at Oshweekend in that qualifier. Everything was going honestly pretty good. We still had a misfire, but at least if it stayed like that all night, I could just limp it through the night, just get it through, right? Because I was like, yeah, it's missing, but it's fast-ish. So I'm like come on, but because I couldn't really get it over 6,200 RPM, which isn't a lot for ours. That's actually still bogging it pretty much for our engines. So. But now that I know that we're there, our times were close. I just looked at them from last night, and off of Alex Riley, I believe he was pulling a 21 21.0 or something like that, 21.1. We were at 21.8 with our best lap. So we're not far off even from the guy who literally won the feature last night and the week before. We're not far off of him in the qualifier with our engine misfiring. So we've got a good piece. All we got to do is just get some fuel to it, because we ended up finding out we had the carburetor set up. So after the qualifier, we had the carb all set up. Finally got everything good. It sounded amazing in the pit area. It would rev right out exactly when it sounded amazing. Even some of the Mustang guys were like, yeah, it sounds good now. You guys should be good. All right, great. Go on track. As soon as I go on track, I'm in first gear, because I usually let it rev out for a little bit in first gear, because usually our radiator works really good to the point where it's like I need to kind of keep the RPMs up so it'll just keep some heat in the engine and kind of play with the fan a little bit. But I was in first gear around $4,000. I was just letting it kind of keep heat in the engine and clearing out the carb, making sure everything's good, right? And because our engines do not like idling or low RPM for very long periods of time, so I'm trying to keep it out of second gear, because when we go around pacing, I'm only at like 1500 to 2000 RPM, because we just pace slow. So I keep it in first gear, that way it doesn't do that and I don't foul plugs or whatever, right? So I'm going around, but I can hear it. It doesn't sound 100%, but I'm like, you know what, it can make it at least. And then, as I said in the qualifier, when I dropped in second gear, I hit the throttle. Yeah, it went okay, but I just still feel some misses. But sorry, in the feature, when I got on track in first gear, I could hear it. It wasn't good. So I was like, well, there's something else here, and I was like, okay, I've officially changed my whole thought process, literally on the green flag, to trying to move forward to now just trying to diagnose the problem while I'm on track. So I'm not even focusing on actually passing cars. I'm focusing on getting past and making sure I'm holding my line, staying out of guys' way as much as I can, which is why I believe on the restart I dove to the inside, because I was like, just go, guys, because I'm not even going to go anywhere. So anybody who got lodged up because of me, I apologize, but I mean, I was like full throttle the whole time. I wasn't going anywhere. I couldn't. So I was keeping it as high RPM as I could going into the corner, so I was thinking around $5,000. And then I would lift off, because I was thinking I'm like, okay, it's seeming like the bowl is not filling up. Our carburetor bowl is not filling up with fuel so it can spray into the engine. Because I'd be full throttle, right? And then it would be like nothing. All 4 cylinders shut off to all of a sudden, oh, there's a little bit of fuel that went in. So I'm like, okay, it's just not getting fuel now. So I was like, okay, so mid-corner, I was about $5,000, lifted off for about a couple seconds, and I smashed the throttle, and it went. I had power. So I'm like, okay, it's definitely a bowl issue. So I'm like, all right. After 2 or 3 laps, I think I pulled in the infield. I said, this isn't worth it in case I damage something. This is not worth it. So came into the infield, stayed there for the whole race. Got to watch a little bit of it from the infield, so it's kind of a nice view. Then I went back to the pit area. I told my crew chief everything and told him what I found, and we conferred some other ideas with Wade Thorne and Matt Newell. We're just conferring some ideas. We're just talking stuff out. And then Randy Alway as well, another Mustang guy from Merrittville. We're just all talking stuff out, and yeah, we've all came to the same scenario. Solution. We're pretty sure, we haven't looked at it yet, so I'm not saying this is definite, but we're pretty sure that the problem is so in our gas tanks we have foam, and that's to stop the fuel from sloshing around, or at least slow it down, so your fuel pickup tube can actually pick it up. So that's the whole point of our foam, but that foam deteriorates. So we had the car sitting for the year, obviously, but it still had fuel in it. So we're thinking that is exactly what caused the foam to deteriorate and then went into the pickup tube and probably clog it up. Thankfully, we have fuel filters, and because we're carbureted, we don't run a lot of PSI in our fuel lines, so it's not going to suck it past the fuel filter and rip it through. We're only like, I think carbs are like what, 8 to 10 psi, maybe more, maybe less, but I think it's around there. So we're not going to suck it through our filter, but it will clog up. We think it clogged the pickup tube, or now the fuel filter, so I'll probably have to get a new fuel filter. But it's just seemed like it might be a simple thing, and we were saying that last night. We were trying to figure out those issues. Like, we looked at each other and we're like, this is probably going to be something so stupid and so small that we're going to look at it and we're just going to be so, I wouldn't say upset, but bothered by it, that we're just going to look at it and laugh, and we're going to be like, well, at least it's fixed. And so we're right there, guys. It's just, it does suck. Yes, making a 2.5 hour drive to not even finish a race because your car's just not running. And what's even worse is we've been building these engines for, like 13, I think almost 15 years. So like we're not new with these 2.3s. We're just this car is just making us look like we're amateurs, man, sometimes. And it's just one of those things that all you can do is kind of keep your head high, I guess, as much as you can, and take what you can get. Seeing what I got from last night is, yeah, I was upset a little bit about how it ended, but in the end, we showed some speed. We know the car's got some. We at least made it out of the qualifier. We weren't in a B main, so that is a big positive to take away from this, right? So that is a good thing with how last night turned out, is we have that to look forward to. The fact that we showed some speed, even with the engine still meh, and we still made it in the feature. So we're there, the setup is there, the driver is getting there, if not maybe even there. Who knows? All we can do is just keep at it, keep coming back, and then keep trying, and just hit the shop every week, hit the books every week, and that's all we're gonna do. So we're hard workers on this team. We are determined to try something, man. We are determined to give her all we got, and I think we're gonna get there. So without further ado, guys, we'll see you guys next week. I'm trying so hard to give you guys video, but of course it is, when it gets busy, the in-between races gets really hard to do. So just bear with me. I hope I can entertain you guys as much as I can, but yeah, we're right there, guys. That's literally all I can say. We're right there. So I'll see you guys next week. Next week is Touch a Truck and Tractor Night at Osh Weekend Speedway. So if you, the family, the kiddos all want to go out there, Touch Truck and Tractor Night, it's all out there. More information I think will get leaked out through the week, or at least I'll read it. I don't know too much about it right now, but I just know that they've always got something going on at that track, man. So it is amazing to know that every week you go there, you got something going on that you can look forward to. Again, huge thanks to Randy Allway, Matt Newell, Christopher French, and talking a little bit to Nathan Lyons there a little bit. You guys helped me out a little bit here, or a lot actually, talking stuff out with you guys. I love conferring with all the guys I know, man, because you guys are absolutely amazing. That's why I love going to that track. All the drivers in that class, man, they're really fun to be around. They're a good group of guys. They're competitive, but they're out there to have fun, and I do like that. I like that atmosphere. Congratulations to Alex Riley again last night for winning the race. Guy had an absolute piece, man. The guy's fast. So yeah, I can't say anything more, guys, other than we've got an uphill battle now in points, unfortunately, because the last couple of weeks have really hurt us. But it's only 2 weeks in, I think, out of what, like a 16-week race season. So we still got 14 nights where we can make it up, man. And I think some good top 10 finishes. I think that's exactly what we need, man. I think that's exactly what we need to do. So we're gonna do our best. We're gonna go out and do it. And I will see you guys next week. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment your favorite moments. See you guys in another video. See you guys next week. Peace.